Determine the area. We've explained all that other stuff, but let's go and actually look at a question. Everyone's paying attention? So they want it from 1 to 3, square root x cubed minus 1 dx. Guys, we talked about the trapezoid rule on the other board. It was in our little terms, we said, okay, well, we can take the half out. We can take the change in x out, and change in x equals b minus a divided by partitions. Let's say n, right? Then we said, well, what we can do then, because a trapezoid goes like this, then like that, technically. That was the same height. Oops, that's supposed to be blue. This one is shared twice, correct? I said that? So we said, okay, well, what we can do then is we can go 1/2 change in x. Our first f of a only has 1, but then our next f, let's say it's f of b, whatever, would have 2. Then we would keep having 2 shared sides, say f of n minus 1, until we get to the end f of n, where we would only have 1 again, because the more I add on to this one doubles. And I add another one, this one doubles, correct? But then this one, if I stop here, this one's a single and a single. We agree? We talked about how it... And we also talked about trapezoids look like this. So this is actually base 1, base 2, and this is actually the what? The height, or change in x for us. Right? That we pulled from that formula. We agree? Everyone agrees. All right. We also talked about how we find the height here. This would be like f of a, then this could be f of b, but then there's going to be 2 of them, then f of c, f of b, f of b, correct? Carry on with that. So let's look at this one. It's from 1 to 3, which is what we have on here, split into 4 trapezoids. And they want the area. Okay, let's talk about it. The area, I can take 1/2 out of every single one of those trapezoids if I find the areas all separately. We agree? Yeah. So I have 1/2 out here. What else did I GCF out that we did on the other board? What else did we GCF out? The 4 is what we GCF'd out, but that's change in x. Technically, it won't always be 4, right? That was for that example. So change in x, how do I find it? What is my b? 3 minus, what's my a? 1 all over 4, so it's actually 1/2. We agree? So, we are going to have 1/2 for the fact that there's actually 1/2 for a trapezoid formula, correct? Then we have change in x, and our change in x is actually 1/2. Now I need to figure out what my side lengths are. We agree? And remember when we did right endpoints or left endpoints, we drew a number line and then we could pull the values off that number line. I'm still going to do the same thing. My number line is from 0 to, or so not 0, it's from 1 to 3, correct? So I'm going to draw myself a number line down here. From 1 to 3, and what did we say the increments were going to go up by? 1/2. So can I use 1.5 because it's a terminating decimal? Mm-hmm. Sure. So I'm going to go 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. And then I know I'm right if this would actually make what? 4 trapezoids, right? Technically, whatever those shapes are. And we're getting the heights off of that being our f of x this time. We agree? So technically, we need how many of f of 1? How many f of 1s? 1, because it's not sharing a side, correct? Plus, how many f 1.5? 2. It's shared twice. One's from one trapezoid and one's from the other. So 2 f of 1.5. Plus, what about the 2? How many are there? 2 f of 2. Plus 2 f of 2.5 plus how many 3's are there? Just a single one, because it's not shared, right? It doesn't share that side. So f of 3. Because that's how we get the actual height at these spots. Because the trapezoids are following the curve square root x minus square root of x cubed minus 1. That's what they're following. They're following that curve. Okay? Can everyone type into your y equals the graph square root x cubed minus 1, please? Everyone's typing it into your y equals and looking at the graph. Everyone's typing it in. Does this follow actually kind of nice trapezoids, this graph? You could fit some nice trapezoids under that graph, correct? Because it has a nice little angle. Okay, I did the window from 1 to 3, correct? We have it going up by what? By 0.5s actually is our change in x, right? So I'm going to change my x scale to also be 0.5. So do you see how I would fit a trapezoid here, and then a trapezoid here, and then a trapezoid here, and then a trapezoid here? You see that? Yes? Okay. So I need f of 1. I need the height at 1, because that's going to get me this height of this side, correct? So how do we get f of 1? Well, we could plug it into the actual formula and find it out, correct? Which is 0, because 1 cubed minus 1 is 0. Square root of 0 is 0. Or we can go second trace value 1. Either way, I have to show the work. So I'm going to go f of 1 equals the cube root of 1 cubed minus 1, which is 0. We agree? Then I have to do f of 1.5 as well, which is the cube root of 1.5 cubed minus 1. Or I can go now just 1.5 again. Remember once you're in second trace value? But now it's not a nice decimal. It's some sort of rounded decimal, correct? So I like keeping all my decimals till the end. So 1.5 cubed minus 1. That is not what I meant to put. 1.5 cubed minus 1 is 2.375. So I have the square root of 2.375, and that's what I'm going to keep, because if I take the decimal that I found before with the value, I'm rounding it, correct? And when are we allowed to round? At the very last step. That is it. Yeah. Then f of 2 is the square root of 2 cubed minus 1, which is the square root of 7. F of 2.5 equals the square root of 2.5 cubed minus 1. So it's 14.625, because I have to subtract 1. So it's the square root of 14.625. And then f of 3 is the square root of 3 cubed minus 1, which is the square root of 26. Right? Do we agree? Okay, now we can fill them into our formula. So we're going to get 1/4, because a half times a half is a quarter. F of 1 is 0 plus 2 root 2.375. That's how I get my height of that first one. The height of the first one. And then plus 2 times root 7 plus 2 times root 14.625 plus root 26. Type it in. So I'm getting approximately, that's what the squiggle means, 5.280. And I'm allowed to round in the very last step. So I kept everything else along the way. Now, what happens if you don't show any work along the way? You're not going to get full marks if you're not showing the algebra. And secondly, I can't give you part marks if you mess up, because I literally have no work to mark. Okay? Sad faces do not count. Or smiley faces. All right. Smiley and sad together, also not good. Okay. Flip over. I gave you another one. You're trying it out. Here we have from 0 to 2, 8 trapezoids. So we're going to do 0, 0.25 twice, 0.5 twice, 0.75 twice, 1 twice, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75 twice, and then 2 once. Not that much. The great thing is, though, that you don't have to do all of them separately and then add them. We get to do 2 times certain things, so it's a little bit better. So we still have to do our half because the area of a trapezoid is a half. And then our change in x, which is a quarter, because we did 2 minus 0 divided by 8. And then we have to do f of 0 plus, and we have to say f of x equals, just so we know what f is. So we have to do this. So f of 0 plus 2f of 0.25 plus 2f of 0.5 plus 2f, of 0.5, 0.75 plus 2f of 1 plus 2f of 1.25 plus 2f of 1.5 plus 2f of 1.75 plus f of 2. All right. So we have 1/8. And then f of 0 is 1 plus 2. And then if we do one divided by 1 plus. Okay. So these aren't going to get that pretty. This is going to be 1 over 1 plus 0. So I want to show you something on your calculators. Everyone paying attention? Okay. So watching this, go to your calculators. We're going to go to our main screen. Everyone's going to go there. Use the fancy calculators. It's a lot easier if you have the other ones. Sorry, it's not as easy. But we're going to go alpha link. Come on. Oh, great. Alpha link or alpha y equals enter. For me, I can do alpha link because I have the fancy calculator. Now, I'm going to actually type in the equation the way it looks. So I'm going to go 1 over 1 plus x to the power of 6. Enter. Now, it just gave me an answer for x being whatever the heck x was last. Okay? I want x to be 0.25. Okay? So I'm going to go 0.25 store as x. And then I'm going to go back up and steal my equation. So now I'm going to use my equation, and I stored it as 0.25. So it's 4,096 over 4,097. Okay. Then, if I now want to store it as 0.5, right? I can go 0.5. Oh, it doesn't like me, this computer. When I move it, it just doesn't like me. Okay, 0.5. Then you go store, STO, with the arrow, store as x. So now that's my new x, and go steal my equation. Enter. 64 over 65. So now I get plus 2 times 64 over 65. Then I need 0.75. They get mad at me again, I'm sure. 0.75 store as x. Enter and then steal my equation. And I get 4,096 over 4,825. Plus, and then I put in a 1, which will be a half. 2 times a half. Plus 2 times 1.25. So now I go 1.25 store is x. And then go math. Not math, sorry. Go up and steal your equation. Oh. 1 plus, what was it? 1.25? Nope, 5, 6. Oh, so it's 1 over that. So it's 4,096 over 19,721. And then 2. 1 plus, that's a minus, 1.75 to the 6, that's on the bottom. 1 divided by something flips it, so 4,096 for 121,745. And then f of 2 is 1 over 9. Yeah, let's type it in. No, this is the multiplication. Why do I have an equal sign? I got 1.033. It's disappointing. It's the 1/9. That's right. I did 2 to the 3, not 2 to the 6. So what is this one? 1 over what?
I don't know the one. I don't know. I just know it's 0 over 3 over 1 over 8.
I got 1.021. Anyone else get that? Where'd you get it? Okay. 091 or 91? So 516, I want you to do number 11 and 13. It asks you to do midpoint rule and those two. I just want trapezoidal rule. That's all I'm giving you. So figure them out. Go.